We can confirm the reporting that Changguang Satellite Technology Company Limited is directly supporting Iran-backed Houthi terrorist attacks on U.S. interests. The United States will not tolerate anyone providing support to foreign terrorist organizations, such as the Houthis. We urge our partners to judge the Chinese Communist Party and Chinese companies on their actions, not their empty words.
Amid the raging tensions, the U.S. has accused a Chinese firm of helping Yemen's Houthi rebels target ships in the Red Sea using satellite data. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce said that Changguang Satellite Technology Company Limited is helping the Houthis, who have been attacking commercial and military ships in the area since late 2023, as a means of showing solidarity with Palestinians amid the war in Gaza. The Houthi attacks have included missile strikes, drone assaults, and attempted hijackings. The firm Changguang Satellite Technology allegedly provided imagery used to plan attacks on U.S. and global vessels. The company is linked to China's military and continued aiding the Houthis despite U.S. efforts to raise concerns with Beijing. The news comes as U.S. airstrikes targeting an oil port held by Yemen's Houthi rebels killed 74 people and wounded 171 others on April 17, as per the Yemen-based rebels. U.S. forces bombed the Ras Isa fuel port in northwest Yemen, a key oil hub controlled by the Houthis. The U.S. said the port supplied fuel that helped fund Houthi operations and sustain their military capabilities. These strikes marked a major escalation, targeting oil infrastructure for the first time in the campaign.
Today, the United States sanctioned the International Bank of Yemen for its financial support of the Houthis, as well as key leaders or officials of that bank. The United States is committed to disrupting the Houthi financial networks and banking access as part of our whole-of-government approach to eliminating Iran's threat network. Moreover, we can confirm the reporting that Changguang Satellite Technology Company Limited is directly supporting Iran-backed Houthi terrorist attacks on U.S. interests. Their actions and Beijing's support of the company, even after our private engagements with them, is yet another example of China's empty claims to support peace. We urge our partners to judge the Chinese Communist Party and Chinese companies on their actions, not their empty words. Restoring freedom of navigation in the Red Sea is a priority to President Trump. Beijing should take this priority seriously when considering any future support of CGSTL. The United States will not tolerate anyone providing support to foreign terrorist organizations, such as the Houthis. Now, as part of President Trump's unwavering defense of free speech, Secretary Rubio has permanently shut down the State Department's Counter-Foreign Information Manipulation and Interference Office, formerly the Global Engagement Center. As Secretary Rubio stated, over the past half-decade, bodies like GEC have called by our own governing ruling class nearly destroyed America's long free speech history. We have launched a sweeping transparency initiative. The American people deserve answers, and we intend to deliver them. Most of you will recall, of course, the effort to censor Americans using certain entities here in the government, including that one here at the State Department. Now, turning to the budget. We continue to review the department's global posture and programs to ensure that they serve U.S. interests in a rapidly evolving world. Our foreign policy is grounded in delivering results that make our nation safer, stronger, and more prosperous. And as the Office of Management and Budget, the OMB, has already stated, the funding decisions will be detailed in the President's budget request, which will be transmitted to Congress in due course. And I will not get ahead of that process today, just not that any of you would have asked. But I look forward to detailing more as we receive it.
I'll also go back to Ukraine with two questions.
Yes, sir.
China. You probably have heard President Zelensky's latest statement on China, saying that China supplies Russia with manpower, gunpower, and even helps them to manufacture some weapons inside Russia. This sort of goes back to your earlier statement a couple of days ago about China, providing nearly 80% of dual-use supplies to Russia. There are calls from the Congress, bipartisan calls, urging the administration to, come up with sanctions on China. Are you planning to take any action to prevent this from happening?
Well, we know, of course, I don't need to mention the word tariffs to everyone, but these are things that are not about punishment of any one nation, but it's about a fair playing field. And that's relevant, certainly proving that President Trump not only isn't shy about engaging with China, he's not shy about engaging with anyone. And that's one thing the American people know. And I think also our commentary and the nature of the actions we're taking in general when it comes to China's choices have been clear. One thing speaking of China and the nature of what they're involved in, I will tell you something, it's a little bit out of the Ukraine region, is that there is a Chinese company providing satellite imagery to the Houthis. The Houthis. And we are aware of those reports. That has been, I think, reported originally perhaps by the Financial Times. But China consistently attempts, as you know, to frame itself as a global peacemaker. And however, it is clear that Beijing and China-based companies provide key economic and technical support to regimes like Russia, North Korea, and Iran and its proxies. The CCP continues to enable these regimes, whether it be through the provision of dual-use items Russia needs to sustain its war in Ukraine, North Korea's ballistic missile development, or Iran's support of terrorism across the Middle East. Just again, taking you back to my topper a bit on Cheng Guang, it's a dynamic where it's clear, as we're learning, their engagement with war and the suffering of people globally. Of course, that remains unacceptable. It is Beijing's support, by the way, of that company, the satellite company, even after we've engaged in discussions with them about this. The fact that they continue to do this is unacceptable, certainly contradicts their claims of being peace supporters. And we urge our partners to judge the CCP and Chinese companies, again, on their actions and not their words.